There it is. Chicken stickers there. Right? Hey, what's going on, everybody? As always, I wanted to start out with a question. What if your greatest obstacle, those of you that are battling some struggles already, isn't in front of you? What if it's the stinking thinking happening inside that knot between the whatever amount of inches you got between your ears? What if it's the stinking thinking inside of you that's causing you that struggle already on Monday evening, right? This is another Monday evening mojo, by the way. And the subject on this thing is thinking about what you're thinking about. Thinking about, comma, what you're thinking about. And is it the stinking thinking that is really running the show for you today? And if so, you are in the right place because at Monday Evening Mojo, man, listen, we do several different things. One of them is encouraging the weary. Anybody that's already been beat up already today, today's Monday, and you got a whole week ahead of you, or you came into Monday already beat up, man, this message is for you and inspiring this stuff, right? Encouraging and inspiring, right? Not just motivating, but give you some inspiration that leads to belief, and that belief leads to action. And that's how you start to turn things around, right? Go inspired from this stuff. Challenging. Check this one out. Challenging the comfort. I always want to give you a little bit of nudge, right? I mean, if you're real comfortable, congratulations, right? But it's time to raise the level. I just think it is, man. Don't get too comfortable. So challenge the comfortable, right? And sometimes the comfortability, man, I used to say a lot about golden handcuffs, right? Where you're making plenty of money, you got the life you really want, but there's this gnawing voice that's chatting in your ear. And it's not the stinking thinking, it's that other voice that's saying, hey, for me, hey Jeff, man, when you gonna leave corporate America, right? Long years ago, when you gonna finally start that business? And hey, listen, people. What I learned in my life and learning in my life all the time is people only change for two reasons. There's enough pain in what they're doing and everything around that, or pleasure, right? And when I finally said, okay, corporate America, yeah, I love the lifestyle, but you guys are full of crap. I made that move because I was financially pissed on a situation that I'm not going to talk to you about tonight, only because it's just, I can talk to you any other time around it, but I ain't here what I'm here to talk to you about, just giving you an idea of way this may resonate for you, right? Pain and pleasure. So are you comfortable in hiding? Are you truly, truly comfortable, man? I get it if you are. So anyway, enough of that one, right? So, and then where is it? The challenging and the comfortable. Call out the stinking thinking. So tonight, man, what are you thinking about? Let me see this again. Thinking about what you are thinking about. That's a tongue twister, right? Say that a couple of times. Think about what you're thinking about. Think about what you anyway, because here's the truth about what you think about. This is what I found out, right? When I really started to pay attention to what I was thinking about, I realized that, man, most of what was spinning in my head that I hadn't really it was aware of because it had become an automatic process, right? Most of us operate subconsciously throughout the whole day and make very little new decisions, new choices. Maybe you go to a new restaurant, maybe you talk about a new movie or you meet a new friend, but other than that, the day is pretty routine, right? I mean, that's how my day, and at a high level, it doesn't matter if you're operating at a high level or you're in the middle or you're just getting started, man. That's how our life can become, right? And those are called ruts in a lot of ways, man. And I've been in and out of ruts over the last several years, so I know what those ruts feel like, right? So anyway, where are you with the thinking, right? Because you don't become what happens to you. You're not. If something's wrong, then that doesn't put a title on who you are. You don't become that situation. You become what you think about all the time. Repeatedly tell yourself about all the time. That's guaranteed, man. I mean, they used to joke when I was coming up, and they were talking about, "What do you think about?" Low boy, as boys, all we thought about were girls, and they say if you think about it long enough, you become it, man. Good thing that wasn't true because there was a stage in my life where it was all about the girls, and then it was sports, and then it was crazy for a long time. Anyway, you guys get the idea, right? So, what is it that you're thinking about when you hear this replay and all that other stuff? Drop it in the comment section. Please follow, share, like, and subscribe to Conversations with Jeff and anything that you see my name associated with, right? Well, I'm asking you to help us do some amazing things here in America, right? So what am I talking about? Stop believing everything that enters into your mind. Because here's the truth. I already said it. It's not. You don't become what happens to you. You become what you think about all the time. So I got a point here. I'm going to ask you about. Let's talk about the stinking thinking and how it takes control. Man, usually your day goes this last couple of weeks for me, right? We've been doing some things in the space, and we're talking about changing it. And one minute I'm excited and fired up about it, and then the other minute the stinking thinking is saying, "Man, wait a minute. Who are you to be in this space? Who are you, even though you've been through it for years and you've helped, lots of folks? Who are you to think that you can have an impact like what we're talking about doing, right?" So right away that comes up. So what triggers you to be in that space where stinking thinking is kicking your butt, right? What stories are that follow that trigger? I just gave you an example of one of mine, and around, moving into a platform that's really kind of something we've been aiming at for a long time, and you'll hear more about it as we truly step into it, right? And then the disappointments in, right? I mean, I'm disappointed. My wife is starting this cool business, and I'm helping her, and I'm really trying to be the helper and not the agitator, because we're two different people and we have two different ideas, right? She's the glue, I'm everything else, the mess, and you know how that goes. Anybody have glue and mess, right? So anyway, and I haven't performed at a level that I'm happy about. Right. So then that goes into the stinking thinking, man. You look at you, you can't even, you claim you want to support her, you claim you love her, and then you aggravate her or frustrate her, and all that stuff, right? So anyway, you guys get the idea, right? So it all comes from those types of things. So tonight in the mirror moment, we always gonna give you something, a mirror moment, that time when I ask you to take a look in the reflection in the mirror at yourself. Who are you really? And what is it that's really leading you? Is it the stinking thinking? Are you clear and you're chasing the dream, man, and you're on fire, and nothing will stop you from reaching your destiny? Or you're somewhere in the middle of that? Because every thought has a destination. Every thought that you have has a destination. I always ask this question, and people get a little offended. So, but where is that thought leading you to? Is that the destination that you started out with on Monday morning, and now it's Monday evening, on Tuesday morning when you hear this? Are you headed to the destination that you have on your mirror, that you have in your phone, the goals and things that you're really looking at every day, or are you just going through the motions in that process called living in the rut? So let me make sure I got your homework for the week, right? So what's one thought you need to replace this week before it becomes a reality? What is that thought? Is it in your relationship? Is it in your health? You're making some new decisions around eating better. You're making some new decisions like, stop eating as many cookies. I'm talking to Jeff now. Stop eating so many sweets, right? I heard somebody say something, and I was like, ooh, I had to think about that. He says, he was talking about himself, and he was like, oh man, I find myself being up late at night, and if this resonates with you, maybe we should talk more about it. And I'm eating things to make myself feel better before I go to bed. Hmm. Right. I said, ooh, and I had to look at that, because I'll have a little snack or something before I go to bed. And what is that for me? Am I uneasy about something? Am I uncertain about something? You know what I mean? So think about that for a second, right? So every thought has a destination. How to make sure yours is leading toward the life you want is the whole foundation of mastering your thinking and paying attention to the triggers. And then what happens once you're triggered, how long it takes you to kind of reset, or if you're able to reset, or the trigger is just taking you down that spiral, right? Beating yourself up mentally, all the things that come naturally to us, right? When it comes to this thinking. So what's one thought that you need to replace this week before it becomes your reality? Drop it in the comment section. DM me if you feel a little uncomfortable, and let's talk about it, right? And drop clear in the comment sections if this helps you kind of see that, hey, you can change how you're feeling about it, looking at how you're thinking about yourself, and the conversation that you're having with yourself about yourself. So it's two things: conversation you're having with yourself about yourself, and then the conversation you're listening to from yourself. Neither one of those oftentimes are helping you move forward. Either one of those are helping you stand in the real truth when you're struggling the most, right? Come on, you know what I'm talking about, right? So I want to say to you all, have a fantastic day, week, and remember, man, you know, you're not what you think about. Don't believe everything that comes in your mind, particularly when life shows up and you're triggered. Pay attention to the things that are off, helping you get off your step, off your square, right? Those things that then lead you, trigger you to do some things that take you totally away from where you're headed. And don't beat yourself up too bad about it, right? Because I'm telling you, man, I'm grateful and excited about the purpose and the mission that we are, and that's helping build 10 million leaders around understanding the power, right? That says, hey, you are not broken. You are being built. And the comeback is the greatest gift that you can have. Just keep moving forward. The heavier it feels, the greater the reward. The more difficult it is, the stronger you become. Right? I mean, I got to the point where I'm like, bring me the heavy. Right? Let's find a heavy this week. Go out and find you some heavy this week. And every day you take that heavy and you beat the snot, you beat the crap out of that heavy. And you see how you feel. Right? So go find you some heavy. Help somebody that has some heavy and you see it and you know you can help them with it. Let's be good humans to each other this week, right? Don't believe everything you hear that you tell yourself. Remember, let's say, if you're weary, we got you, right? Don't take this journey alone, man. So we are building a generation of 10 million people, that leaders who no longer see themselves as being broken, but seeing themselves as being built. Let's build this thing together, right? So anyhow, man, again, follow, share, like, and subscribe to Conversations with Jeff, and be on the lookout for some powerful things this week. We love you, believe in you, and know that it's possible. And let's walk it out this week, right? And remember, what's the one thing that you're gonna pay attention to so you don't blow up your week. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Take care. I believe in you until you believe in yourself. Have a good night. Let's do this thing called life. Be a good human. Bye bye.